Day 8 of the government shutdown.
We want to make sure we have air travel safe and controllers focused.
And how it's affected air travel. Hostage survivors returned to our nation's capital.
My jaw was dislocated and they took my soul.
2 years after the October 7th attacks, coverage from our DC bureau, and a look into an exhibit.
It's a community that's been built through the identity and the culture of Hispanics
that celebrates Hispanic heritage. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Patrick Lober.
And I'm Paula Sirignano. Today is Wednesday, October 8th, 2025.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
The scene is set for the former FBI Director James Comey and his arraignment. Comey is to be arraigned in the next couple of minutes.
You are watching live images from outside the courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia, where Comey will hear a formal reading of the charges against him and have a chance to enter his plea. Comey is charged with making false statements to Congress and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. The Justice Department alleges he lied to lawmakers about whether he authorized an FBI media leak, but prosecutors say the legal case is weak, that it shouldn't have been filed.
I believe that Mr. Comey will ultimately be vindicated. I think there's going to be strong grand jury misconduct motions, vindictive prosecution motions, and selective prosecution motions.
Again, you are watching live images from outside the courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia. The investigation comes after President Trump's 2016 campaign involved allegations of its tie to the Russian government.
2 years after the October 7th attacks, a group of survivors and family members from Israel gathered in Washington, D.C. to commemorate the lives lost and the ones left to return home. All of them with a clear goal, a call to action, urging the U.S. government to work toward a ceasefire. Our D.C. Bureau reporter Ivan Ilowski was there and has the story.
An emotional scene for all of them, with many expressing the frustration that this war is still happening.
The terrorists found me. I was beaten, burned, and taken to Gaza on a motorcycle with sexual abuse. For 55 days, I was held in captivity, living in fear, hunger, and deprived of all basic human rights.
Ilana Guchevsky was kidnapped by Hamas terrorists on October 7th, 2 years ago. She described what she endured before being released in a hostage prisoner swap last year.
No sunlight, no showers, barely any food or water. I lost 24 pounds. I lost hearing in my left ear. My hip was broken. My leg was torn. My jaw was dislocated, and they took my soul. Today am I free, but Matan and 47 hostages still held by Hamas.
Matan, her partner, is one of those hostages. About 1,600 Israelis and more than 67,000 Palestinians have been killed since the war began, with nearly 2 million displaced in Gaza. Prime Minister Netanyahu has vowed to destroy Hamas. The most recent proposal for a ceasefire calls for the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. Ilana, alongside the other survivors and family members, are desperate for their relatives' release.
To President Trump, Mr. President, we need you now more than ever. You done so much, and I'm begging you to help ensure the hostages are freed. The world needs your leadership.
With negotiations still ongoing on Egypt, President Trump says all parties involved have made progress for a possible ceasefire deal. Reporting in Washington, D.C., I'm Ivan Ilowski, Caplin News.
The government has been shut down for 8 days now, and it's affecting air travel. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez gives us an insight into how the Department of Transportation responds.
With the government shutdown sliding into its 7th day, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says air traffic controllers are wondering if there's an end in sight.
They're thinking about, am I going to get a paycheck?
Controllers are considered essential workers, so they must work during the shutdown, but are not being paid.
We want to make sure we have air travel safe and controllers focused, not on their mortgages, not on the next paycheck, not on food on the table, but actually on making sure you and your family are safe. 12
FAA facilities saw staffing shortages Monday night. The control towers in Burbank, Phoenix, and Denver had so-called staffing triggers reported in the public FAA operations plan. Other facilities that handle air traffic around airports in Newark, New Jersey, Jacksonville, Florida, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and Indianapolis also were short-staffed, which in some cases caused hours-long delays.
If we have additional sick calls, we will reduce the flow consistent with a rate that's safe for the American people.
Former air traffic controller Harvey Skolnick says anytime a facility isn't staffed properly, it has a ripple effect.
It has an effect on breaks. It has an effect on controllers getting time off. It has an effect on training. And the job is tough enough as it is. And when you have to work 6 days a week, and now you're not getting paid on time, so everything has a cumulative effect on the FAA.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
As the government shutdown continues to impact about 7 million Americans, President Trump found a creative way to help provide food assistance to the WIC program. Yesterday, the White House announced that President Trump wants to use money generated by the trade tariffs to help fund the food assistance program called WIC. But tariff money goes into a general fund managed by the Department of Treasury. Congress and the Trump administration will need to draw up a measure that would designate the frozen tariff revenue for a specific use. If the department unfreezes the tariff assets, it would reopen the government.
With the king tide season coming, the threat of floods and sea level rise loom over the city of Miami. But Florida International University is working behind the scenes to raise awareness with Sea Level Solutions Day.
Caplin News reporter Julian Lascano is live from North Miami with more on this event. Good morning, Julian.
Thank you, guys. And right now I'm standing inside the Biscayne Bay campus here at FIU, where Sea Level Solutions Day is well underway. As you can see, scientists, students, and volunteers are involved in this, helping moderate the sea level across the city of Miami and helping people understand and educate themselves on flooding and sea level rise. Organizers say it's also a chance to show how technologies and community involvement can help Biscayne Bay. And today's timing is especially important, with the event lining up with king tide, one of the biggest tides of the year, raising floods and sea level across the streets, causing damages and hurting civilians. Well, right now, I have a special guest right here, professor at UM and retired professor of physical oceanography. How are you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you. Thank you for having the event. I appreciate you guys keeping track of it. Yeah, I taught at the University of Miami 51 years, including sustainable living. I taught the first sustainability course at UM.
So what exactly are you guys doing here in Sea Level Solutions Day?
Well, I'm living in a house right on a street which floods regularly with king tide, so I bought a cyber truck in order to go through the water. It jacks up an additional foot, so it go up to 19 inches of ground clearance, which hopefully will be enough to ford the flood that's occurring right now.
So I see that you have some equipment here getting ready for the event. What exactly do you guys have over here to moderate and detect the sea level over here?
Well, we're going to, there's a measuring tape to measure the depth. I'm going to measure it in a gap in the seawall that the county does not maintain. That's where a lot of our flooding comes through, so I'm going to document how that's working today. Probably take a little video of it pouring into my street. So yeah, it's I've lived there 36 years, and so sea level has risen 8 inches to the time I bought the house, and it's a couple more inches on top of that by now. And the rate of sea level rise is accelerating. I was on the Dade County Sea Level Rise Projection Task Force both times they've met.
And I know that you were a professor of physical oceanography at UM. How exactly has sea level risen across these last couple of years, and how do events like this help the community kind of get more involved and understand the sea level rise problem here in Florida?
Yeah, well, this is an important thing for people to be aware of what the issues are. If we were silly enough to melt all the ice on Earth, there'd be 212 feet of additional sea level rise. And I recommend we don't do that. So we should be changing our energy away from fossil fuel into renewables. So I have a solar roof on my house that produces my electricity. I'm driving an electric car that's charged from my roof. So I'm doing the things that you should do. Not everybody may be able to afford it, but I'm doing this because I think it's the right thing to do. Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see." So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. And as you can see, they are setting up right now for the event, but they will be going out to different parts of Miami to moderate and to detect sea level rise and help the community understand this a little bit more. Reporting live from North Miami, Caplin News, I'm Julian Newscast.
Students at FIU are excited this morning after being ranked the #1 public university in Florida for the second year in a row. The Wall Street Journal ranked FIU above other reputable schools such as UF and UCF. The school put a sign connecting its medical program to local partners, which leaders say is the key to its rise through the ranks.
The Florida Panthers began their title defense with a season opener against the Chicago Blackhawks.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
I think it's very important that your future generations are, proud of being Hispanic.
An art exhibition continues celebrations for Hispanic Heritage Month. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Those with Hispanic roots are still being celebrated here in Miami-Dade. Hispanic Heritage Month is almost over, but an art exhibition in Doral is still celebrating the traditions and diversity of Latino culture.
Caplin News reporter Patricia Varas has the details.
As the Hispanic Heritage Month continues across the country, this art exhibition is showcasing the vibrant culture, art, and identity of the Latino community. As Hispanic Heritage Month comes to an end this October 9, visitors say events like this highlight the importance of cultural identity, not just for the present, but for the generations to come, especially here in Miami, which is a multicultural city in Florida.
As somebody who's married to a Hispanic and would like to have a family with that person, I think it's very important that your future generations are, proud of being Hispanic, proud of having that in them, and that this art that they see is a way to celebrate that, and that's something that should be celebrated.
According to organizers in the city of Doral, events like this help to build a stronger sense of community. They hope exhibitions like this inspire Latino families to take pride in their roots and continue passing down their cultural traditions.
In the city of Doral, it's really important specifically because we represent a big part of this community. It's a community that's been built through the identity and the culture of Hispanics, from Cubans to Venezuelans to Colombians, and in general in the U.S., the Hispanic identity is something that's really worth highlighting because we also form a part of the history of the U.S. and of the modern society.
This exhibition is a reminder of how art can keep cultural traditions alive and honors an identity's community. For Caplin News, I'm Patricia Varas.
The back-to-back champions are here, and the Florida Panthers couldn't have started the season any better against Chicago Blackhawks. Both teams came out strong, but the Panthers offense proved they can still handle themselves despite the loss of Matthew Tkachuk and Alexander Barkov. During the game, they were able to raise their second Stanley Cup banner, a special moment for this franchise as they strive to do the same next season. The final score was Chicago 2, Panthers 3. Their next game will be tomorrow against the Philadelphia Flyers at 7 p.m.
And that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Paula Sirignano.
I'm Patrick Lober. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.